You contribute your growth as an artist to surrounding yourself with peers that push you to succeed. How has this helped you with your growth?
Sure. I'm somebody that thrives off of feedback and energy. So seeing my friends get better, try new things, make me want to try them as well. It's really easy to get stuck in the rut of like what sells. And it's important to have people encourage you to go outside of your comfort zone. So for me, finding my voice meant trying new things all the time and seeing what was successful for me. And maybe, I've made some things that sold really quickly, and my friends were like, you need to make 100 more of those, but it didn't align with what I wanted to do as an artist. So finding the balance between what sells, what's pretty, what's exciting, and what's exciting to you as a maker.
So, what is your best advice to help find that balance between selling and then what you actually want to make?
So you have to figure out again what is exciting you and then what is selling, and then you have to kind of just like figure out how many of the things that are selling quickly are things that also excite you, and how many of the things that excite you are just sitting for a long time. I think that it is still really worthwhile to make pieces strictly because they excite you and not just because it sells. Because I think if you are only putting your energy into things that sell quickly, you're kind of losing a little bit about what gives you your voice as an artist. And but at the same time, you got to make a living. So you have to really, again, balance out what the people want and what you want. And again, with those kind of one off pieces, everything sells eventually. There's going to be somebody that walks in and sees that weird thing that you make that they're like, this is everything I've ever wanted.
Shaping Nation, it is so important to find that balance between selling, but also trying to make things that you actually like. Because if you're only focusing on selling, then that's where it's going to get boring, and then you're going to eventually give up.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, you have to be making things that you actually want to be making, so you can continue going further. It's that balance they
Exactly.
got to find. I love that so much. So you mentioned finding peers that helped you really grow your as an artist. Where can people go out and find peers to help them push their own work?
So you have to be a little bit social to do this, and it can be hard if you're an introverted person. Anybody that knows me would be like, you are the most extroverted person I know. So like these are things that come naturally for me, but maybe not for everybody. My advice would be to again be social, put yourself out there. Instagram is a great place to make friends and discover other artists. There is never any harm in shooting somebody like a little message like, hey, saw what you're doing, that's gorgeous. I'm really inspired by you. Like, what do you do for X, Y, and Z? Like, I love it when people reach out to me on Instagram. I'm always happy to kind of fill in the blanks for somebody. I can tell they're another potter when they're like, I think you're doing this. Is that right? Like, can kind of connect over that. So that's one way to make some connections. And I also want to point out that it doesn't have to be other potters. Sometimes it's really healthy to have, like, one of my best friends is a jewelry maker, and she also does macrame. And so we collaborate all the time. Her name is Emily Sherman with Great Adventures Jewelry, and we do like bird houses and hanging planters. And so like she'll have an idea and be like, we should really make a wall hanging that has this type of pottery in it. And I'll be like, I've never tried that before, but I'm going to do it so that we can collaborate and push each other's boundaries. And, like I said, architecture inspires me, artwork inspires me. So if there's somebody that you see doing something really well that you love, compliment them, reach out to them, ask them how they're doing it and how you guys can work together. And then I think too, just like at markets, at shows, anywhere that you're vending or have work for sale or that other people are selling their work, you can always make that in-person connection, reach out, give them your information. And I am a big advocate for art nights, working together on different projects, and just like getting a sense of community to have somebody to bounce those ideas off of.